So what is Palestine? Who are Palestinians, and what geography are they entitled to?
Yeah, so the Palestinian people are the people that live in the land of Palestine. What is the land of
Got it.
Palestine?
So tell me, what is the land of Palestine?
Is there a solution in the Middle East? Everyone is talking about a two-state solution. Well, in year 2005, Israel has withdrawn every single Israeli person from Gaza. It even disinterred the bodies in a cemetery, brought them to Israel, gave the Palestinians a great opportunity to create a state and have a statehood. What did the Palestinians choose to do? They chose to vote in the Hamas and turn Gaza into a terror city, launching thousands of missiles and terrorist attacks onto Israel. Here is an opportunity, another one that was squandered away. You count how many times Israel gave the Palestinians a chance for statehood, but they would choose terror instead. Mr. Charlie Kirk, a great friend of Israel, not Jewish, but who's a truth thinker, puts on many of these public forums where he allows himself to be questioned publicly and on the spot. And here is one of his conversations, and you'll listen to what he subjects himself to and how he responds it. I think you'll find it very enlightening. Kindly subscribe to the channel. Let's keep on growing the channel so we can continue on giving a little bit of light to the world to push away a lot of darkness.
I just want to confirm your belief. Your belief is a one-state solution. Israel's that one state because Israel is the true indigenous people to that land, and therefore they have a right to that land.
I mean, I would say it's a little more complicated than that. Number one, I think Israel's existence is a miracle, not a mistake. The new creation of Israel, 1948, 46. Number two, Israel has a right to exist. And number three, its neighboring government structures are, at best, let's just say, annoyingly evil, at worst, largely illegitimate. And so, mainly the Palestinian Authority. But we could dive deeper into that. Of course, we would welcome a multi-state solution if they're actually acting like states similar to Jordan or similar to Egypt, not as terrorist proxies. I try not to be too ideological on this topic. I am a Christian, so there is a theological undercurrent and element to it. But anyway, that's my position, and tell me yours.
Yeah, so I think my position is really, I think the question starts off a lot of the time with, does Israel have a right to exist? I reject that notion, or I reject that premise of the conversation. I think Israel does exist. Israel has won the right to exist. The question should be, and the focus should be, does Palestine have a right to exist? Or at the very least, do the Palestinian people have a right to self-determination?
Great, so let's pause there if that's okay. I don't mean to interrupt you. So what is Palestine? Who are Palestinians, and what geography are they entitled to?
Yeah, so the Palestinian people are the people that live in the land of Palestine. What is the land of Palestine?
Got it. So tell me, what is the land of Palestine?
Okay, so the land of Palestine is the region between Egypt and Syria. It was described by Herodotus as Palestina, and then it was derived off the term Peliset, which is part of the Sea peoples.
Herodotus was way after the creation of the nation of Israel, right? So everything from Egypt to Syria, that would that include?
No, between Egypt and Syria, between the Jordan River and...
Let me list off a couple things. Does that include Tel Aviv, Jerusalem, Hebron, Capernaum?
Yeah, all those areas.
So the modern state of Israel is what it incorporates.
Israel's located on the geographical region of Palestine.
So just so we are clear, Palestinians, and we have to define who those people are.
I'd love to do this.
Yeah. Do they have a moral right to set up a government in Tel Aviv?
In Tel Aviv? I don't know.
Well,
I don't think...
You're the one contesting it, so tell me.
So I actually don't think right now, I don't think that's where it's going to go. I think Tel Aviv is the current core of the Israeli state right now. I think if any Palestinian state is going to be established, it's going to be based around Gaza or the territories in the West Bank. But I think, what's it called? Sorry, I'm like hearing this at the same time. Yeah. So, but I'm glad you brought this up because I think your position is that Palestinians as a people group, as an ethnic group, What do you think? Do you see them as a nation?
I need you to tell me. Well, it depends. You need to tell me who they are and what does it incorporate. So is every person in Jordan a Palestinian?
No, not every person.
Well, then okay, but who are the Palestinians? Because most of them are Jordanian refugees.
So the Palestinians are the people that lived in Palestine. I'm going to expand on that. Are you ready? So the first people, they're the people, the Canaanites, thousands of years ago, that mixed. I'm getting. Trust me, I'm smarter than you think about this. I'm not.
You got to go quicker. You're losing the audience. So
the
Canaanites. They're already calling for another question. You got to go quicker.
The Canaanites mix in with other groups of people. The Palestinian Christians. Okay, the first people to convert to Christianity. Where were they? They were in the land of Israel, right?
No, you're right. Israel, not Palestine. You're right.
Yeah. Okay, they were in the land of Israel.
You just said it was Israel, not Palestine.
Yeah, I know. But listen. Okay, so those people. So they were the Jews and the indigenous people at that time, right? That converted. Okay, and there's still Christians in that land today, right?
Decreasingly so, but yes, of course.
Okay, so aren't the Palestinian Christians the most indigenous to that region?
Well, no, because the Jews predated them, right? I mean, the land of Canaan, or Judea and Samaria, has been the Jews for well over 5,000 years. Well, yeah, ish. 4,000 years. And so, again, we can go all the way back to the Mesopotamians, but the most rightful claim to the land is that of the Jews. Let me go back to one final question, though. Let me understand. There are 45 plus Arab majority, Muslim majority countries in the world.
Yes.
Why does one Jewish majority country get so much attention, including your advocacy?
Yes. There's 20 plus Bantu majority countries in Africa. Does that give the black Americans the right to go and return to their homeland and establish a state? No, because when they did do that, when they tried to establish Liberia, they set themselves up as the ruling class. They pushed the indigenous Liberians into the interior, and they eventually got investigated for forced labor practices.
It was a disaster by President Monroe. I will acknowledge that, but that doesn't answer. I just want. What would you consider to be a resolution to what's happening in the region? We'll end with that.
Okay, so I think Israel. They should. Of course, I don't think a peaceful future will exist with Hamas. So I think
Credit to you. That's a morally clear statement.
So I think Israel's focus should be on that. For one, destroying the tunnel networks, getting the hostages back, using their intelligence network that they used in all these decades to assassinate neo-Nazis on all different continents. The Hamas leaderships in different countries. Focus on the leadership. Focus on unconventional means to take out Hamas. And then, you know what? Work with the Palestinian Authority. It's corrupt. I will acknowledge you that. But you know what? It's better than the terrorists.
I find very little to disagree with that. We'll have to take this discussion on at another time. Thank you very much.
I would love to.
Thank you. God bless, man.
Thank you, man.
Mr. Kirk asks a very valid question. You're talking about 48 different Arab states. Why does Israel have to be the one to take him in? I mean, Israel geographically is smaller than New Jersey. Look how much Arab land there is throughout the Middle East. Why does Israel have to be the one to absorb them? Although Israel has tried over the last 77 years to give them as much opportunity as possible. And people don't realize how many Arabs actually live in Israel that have Israeli citizenship. People don't know that in Israeli parliament there's Arab representation there. We are running a democracy to the best as we can as possible. However, when our neighboring countries want to devour us and annihilate us, what options do we have? For 77 years, we've tried to make peace. We have tried all different types of peace accords, but always to only be shut down because they don't want to recognize Israel. And as long as they maintain that stand without recognizing Israel, there's absolutely no chance of ever attaining a true peace. When each country can recognize each other, and Israel has recognized the Palestinians, but the Palestinians need to recognize Israel. Once that happens, perhaps there'll be a road to peace. God bless you. God loves you.